Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that may have been a little bit of a dramatic entrance, and yes, RIP and so much is a bit over the top, but we're here to discuss the PS5, and I guess let's kind of get the little things that are in the way out, that are public and available. So first of all, here's the prices. $399 for the digital, $499. Here's the release date for the global situation. And then here's the box for the disc edition. You've got this white, the black. Personally, I think the black is cooler, and that's for the digital. And then finally, this PlayStation Plus collection, which we're going to kind of go into a little bit more. But I think with all of that to discuss, here's some neat Fall Guys, you know, footage to get you through this like 20-minute breakdown of everything that's going to be going on, because there's so much to discuss and why Sony lied to us. So first of all, the reason I say Sony lied to us is about the pre-orders. Okay, they told us back in the show with Jeff Keighley that they were gonna tell us the date and time, and there wasn't gonna be a rush. It wasn't gonna be a minute's notice to get your pre-orders, and well, that's exactly what happened. If you guys have been trying to get a PlayStation 5 and you woke up on the morning of the 17th after the event, oh my goodness, like so much would have gone wrong after the 17th, event that they did. It was pandemonium. First of all, it was Walmart in America that opened the floodgates by letting people pre-order, and then everybody else, it just went to hell. Game in the UK have like completely sold out. Then there was some other stores, and by the time people really woke up, the morning after, they try to get to work maybe or something in their normal lives, they're like, what the hell? I can't get a PS5 and it's just selling out. And then Amazon were like, hey, we're here to save you, and it's going to be 9 a.m. in the UK, and we're going to put our pre-orders live. And everybody's like, obviously seen that, and they're scrambling and trying to get this pre-order. So it's a complete and utter mess. So yeah, Sony lied to us about the PS5 pre-order, okay? But that's not the only thing that Sony's actually been lying to us about. They've been lying to us since the summer game shows that they've been showing off the PlayStation 5. Now, technically, people are right when they say Sony didn't lie to us, okay, in some of the ways that they've done it, but it's been incredibly deceptive. And the way that they implied things was that they were going to be really kind of giving us a next gen experience that we can never get on a PlayStation 4. Lo and behold, Spider Man Miles Morales is now going to be available on a PlayStation 4. And the bigger shock, I think, to everybody is Horizon Forbidden West is also coming to the PlayStation 4. Now, when Mark Cerny did his, little talk about how this generation is going to have games that are completely impossible on a PlayStation 4, it's now got everybody thinking, like, they were telling us that these games on PlayStation 5 can never be done anywhere else, and now all of a sudden they're saying we're gonna have to have these games on PS4 and PS5. Isn't that gonna hold the game design back a bit? Now, the reason I say Sony lied to us is because I feel it's very deceptive, and they're putting PlayStation exclusive, and they're saying captured on PlayStation 5 and all of these things, and they're really making it seem to us that this, well, it's a PlayStation 5 exclusive, and it wasn't. It's true that it was a PlayStation exclusive because it's technically on a PlayStation 4 and a PlayStation 5, and just that platform as a console, but a little bit deceptive and dishonest and really crappy on Sony's part. But there's a couple of other things as well that I think a lot of people are going to be a bit upset by. other than the kind of couple of things that I've mentioned, is the fact that Sony have essentially just got to a point where they're arrogant enough to think that they don't have to look after the existing owners and kind of dupers. So the PlayStation Plus collection that's going to be coming out, it's got a total of 18 games, and one of the things that they're doing is only making this available to people that have a PlayStation 5 and are subscribed to PlayStation Plus. So I'm just gonna reiterate that you have to have a PlayStation 5 and have to have PlayStation Plus at no higher cost or tier or anything. So it's the same PlayStation Plus you've always had from the beginning, the same one that you need for PlayStation 4. But if you don't have a PlayStation 5, you're not allowed to play the 18 PlayStation 4 games that they're offering. Now that is really egregious, bad, greedy, and they they deserve all the crap that people are going to give them, because at this moment in time, if you are a PlayStation 4 owner and you're thinking, okay, well, I can't buy a PS5 just yet, I'm going to wait a little bit, then in the past, for example, when you went from a PlayStation 3 and had PlayStation Plus, and say wanted to transition later in the generation to a PlayStation 4, you could go onto the PlayStation, store on the website using a PC browser, etc., and you could redeem the PlayStation 4 titles on the PlayStation Plus monthly, and that would then be in what they call the library of PlayStation Plus titles. And then when you were ready to get a PlayStation 4, you'd have them available day one. Now, they're saying this is probably going to be a very limited time thing potentially, or they're just going to add to it, maybe change titles. Nobody really knows exactly. They just try to act like it's a bonus, but it's really interesting that Sony's taking a PlayStation Plus subscription that every single person has to pay 49.99 for in the UK approximately. Okay, you can get it cheaper, but that's for another topic. And they're kind of paywalling you if you don't buy a PlayStation 5 at launch and have a PlayStation subscription from playing PS4 games on a PS4? Like, what? How can you tell me and tell everybody else, hey, there's a bunch of 18 PlayStation 4 games that you can't play on your PlayStation 4 with your PlayStation subscription from PlayStation Plus that you've paid 49.99 for the entire year, unless you also buy a PlayStation 5. That is ridiculous. And Sony have really just been kind of implying to us that they're going to leave, the PlayStation to have these nice, great games like Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, and then they're going to kind of show us these new worlds that aren't possible. And you look at all their marketing and everything that they've been doing and releasing so far, they're implying that you need to really have a PlayStation 5 to have these experiences. Now, every time you see PlayStation exclusive whiz up on the screen, you're going to be thinking, well, I guess it's going to be coming to PlayStation 4 because they're not saying PlayStation 5 exclusive, right? So right now, the only games that really are going to be on PlayStation 5 only is Astro's Playroom, which technically speaking I wouldn't count because it's installed on the PlayStation 5, okay, on every single one. Okay, it's more like a demo for them to show off the haptic feedback and some of the other features. It's nothing that you would be like, oh, that's a really great game I have to play all the time. It's more like a gimmick that they want you to kind of test out and feel like, oh yeah, this is where all my like 450 or 300, 60 pounds is gone. And I find that really, really bad that Sony are trying to like fiddle the stats and make us think that this is the way that we need to kind of accept that we're gonna, well, I guess, have a great old time playing on a PlayStation 5 with PS4 games. And Sony also lied to us about a couple of other things now when you look back and think, okay, they said that we're not going to be able to use a DualShock 4 on PlayStation 5 games. You're only going to be allowed to use the DualSense. And it kind of made sense. It kind of made us think, okay, well, that seems fair. If they're PlayStation 5 games and they're only on PlayStation 5, then, you can only play using a PlayStation 5 controller. Seems fair. But now it turns out that Miles Morales is going to be on a PlayStation 4 as well, and they're not gonna let you use a DualShock 4 to play that game on a PS5? I mean, what is going on, Sony? You are really dropping the ball. You're lying to your customers. You've completely botched the pre-order, and now you're pretending that, there's extra benefits for people on PlayStation Plus, but there's not. Are you out of your mind? You're gonna get all the crap you deserve for this, and I think a lot of people owe Microsoft a bit of an apology for all the crap that they gave them, thinking, oh, hey, Microsoft is just really crap. They're trying to hold on to the past and they don't care about customers having a great experience and, all these other things. And I will put my hand up and I gave Microsoft a little bit of stick and I was like, oh, well, what incentive is there to buy an Xbox Series X or even a Series S, which just got announced, because there's not going to be any exclusive games. But Sony was sitting back the whole time laughing at gamers, thinking, we are doing that, but we're not going to tell them just yet. We need to let Microsoft take all the crap and, get all the backlash and everything and feel like crap. And let's talk about the pricing as well for a second. Now, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that Microsoft has announced theirs and Sony's like, okay, well, we're gonna match their price. As the Series X is this much, we'll put the PS5 price this much and we'll make a bit more money maybe. But Sony's reason for putting the disc version higher and matching the Series X price is a little bit dubious, because what they've done is they've lowered the digital edition by £90. Now, just for reference, the disc drive in a Series X or a PlayStation 5 costs between 20 to $30. So 15, £16 maybe, roughly, in conversion up to about 20 maybe. And so yeah, £20 difference. Let's say they wanted to, take the disk drive out, save 20 quid, and then say, okay, we'll give you another £50 discount. Uh, that takes you to that much. But then I feel like they've added a little bit extra on to the cost of a PlayStation 5 disc edition, just to kind of offset the losses a little bit more. And I think they were originally going to look at maybe doing it for about 425, which is the exact same price that the PlayStation 3 launched at. But they were like, oh, you know what? Maybe now we've got an opportunity. We're going to match Microsoft and we're going to match Series X price, and we're just going to like take a little bit more money from the people who want things on disc. Oh, and just for your reference, prices have gone up to $69.99 for first party titles. Wow. Now, I don't know about you guys, but they do not give you £70 worth of content on these games. You play for maybe about 4 or 5 hours on some of these games, and some of these games are so short or so low in quality, they're not even worth the amount of money you're being robbed. And so now Sony's like, oh, we've got an upgrade path for some of our games. And if you're a smart gamer, and I do think you guys watching this will be smart enough to pick up on some of the things. I'd say buy the PlayStation 4 version of any cross-gen game. That's what I'm calling it. I'm calling it a cross-gen game. There's no real PS5 exclusives, and any that are, Destruction All Stars, please. That looks like a game from like PS2 with even PS3 graphics on it. You know, it's a really crappy looking game. Demon Souls, yeah, cool, but it's a ground up remaster slash remake. Do you really want to pay $70 for that? I mean, you'll get the hours and value eventually, but it's not really next gen, is it? It's just a remake of a game from PS3. I mean, it's so last generation. And so that brings me on to what you should do if you buy a PlayStation 5 at launch. I'd say enjoy all the free games if you, well, I mean, if out of the 18 like me, you've got maybe 3 that you haven't played or haven't already got in your PlayStation Plus library, or you probably don't own. Maybe, there's only like a few. And then, buy the PlayStation 4 version that's brand new and got an upgrade to PlayStation 5. And, you know, enjoy your purchase. But Sony, no exclusives that are really worth getting. Maybe until God of War Ragnarok. I mean, what reason has Sony literally given you to go out and buy a PS5? I mean, you could probably pick up a PS4 Pro really cheap and just enjoy a little bit of 4K gaming on that until the PlayStation 5 actually gets some exclusives next year, like maybe God of War Ragnarok, maybe Ratchet and Clank. I think, honestly, the Gran Turismo 7, Ratchet and Clank, God of War, they're all coming to PlayStation 4 as well. It's like Sony has decided, you know what, we had 100 million PlayStation 2s, and we had a really rough PlayStation 3 launch, and hey, let's not repeat that mistake. Let's just keep this cash cow going and milk it till it's powdered, you know? So that's my thoughts. I'm sure you've got your own. I hope you guys, if you're getting a PS5, have managed to get a pre-order. If you haven't, waiting's fine as well. 2021 holiday time, you'll actually get a discount on a PlayStation. You'll get a discount on the bundles with games at a discount, and there'll be better games maybe, or cheaper games you can pick up. And it's going to be really, in my opinion, better for you guys. But PlayStation Plus members who wait a little bit longer, not being able to play PlayStation 4 games unless they have a PlayStation 5, that's just bull. Like, Sony need to like sort that out and U-turn and just do a Microsoft last gen, or this gen, I guess. Technically, we're still in the same generation where they were like, okay, we're not gonna make you log in. You can like just give the games to your friends. Hey, you can have used games. We don't care. Yay. Well, if you've liked the little rant, if you've heard some valid points, I hope you guys will subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed the fallout uh, of this whole flustercluck of what Sony's done and the crap they're getting if you're watching this when they've been ripped apart as they rightly deserve. And hey, hope you enjoyed the Fall Guys win as well. Thanks, guys. Like and subscribe. See you next time.